Move.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on Foothill Eastern? Director Ward?
San Clemente again this year is not going to be able to vote for the budget for Foothill Eastern. A lot of the capital improvement projects in here I could vote for, but because you don't split them out, I cannot support the entire budget. Specifically, the South County traffic relief effort. There are statements made in here that the purpose and need has changed from what it originally was when I was on the mobility working group 2 years ago. It says that we are going to improve regional mobility by reducing congestion on I-5 during peak commuting hours and weekends. Weekends were never discussed with the electeds in the mobility working group, and they're also not part of any valid study for transportation projects. And yet this agency is asking us to vote to spend millions of dollars to study that and go into an EIR with that. The other one is provide additional north-south capacity in case of traffic accidents on the I-5. We're going to build a completely different road in case there's one accident on I-5. Also, it's being built in case of emergencies. So I think the 405, 605, let's just build an additional freeway in case there's any emergency that's the emergency system's never thought of, that we're going to build and spend billions of dollars to do that. That's in the purpose and need that we're asking to vote on to go forward. So we're going to object to that and think that's ridiculous to go into an EIR and spend money on that. It says that we're going to address existing and future deficiencies in north-south regional mobility in South Orange County, and yet this agency keeps only talking about the growth in North County, but talking about doing something in South County. The lack of redundant north-south capacity increases congestion during traffic incidents on I-5. Any incident on any freeway is going to congest traffic. This is for studies of doing design work, support the outreach, engineering, and environmental planning for Foothill Eastern to try to come up with an alignment. San Clemente doesn't believe that this agency has a viable alignment, and that's why this agency has now started studying managed lanes and looking to the I-5 corridor to try to take over something on that, and that's not in our purview. It's not in our JPA agreement that that's what we do. We are supposed to build 2 transportation corridors and go out of business. That's what we told the public we were doing. That's how we got an agreement to charge development fees that are very important to people when they pay $5,000, which, by the way, is projected to be $20 million from our cities this year and was last year $20 million. That raises all the cost of housing at each one of our cities, and yet we're just spending it on studies, and we've done that for the last 20 years, trying to put in an extension in South County that has just never been able to do. We are doing redundant projects that belong to OCTA and Caltrans, and they're asking us to study it. I heard that a project study report was sent to Caltrans. It did not come to this board. We have not seen it to see what they're saying this project's supposed to be and what the cost might be and even what the traffic relief might be. It didn't come to us. So at the end of this meeting, I will be asking for that to come to us. I understand it's preliminary, but where's the board involved in this? All we're being told, they come every now and then and say, we're going to now study managed lanes, and we all kind of go, okay. And then they go away and spend a lot of money doing that. It's also costing the board a lot of money in litigation costs, certainly from the city of San Clemente, that are unnecessary. But if the staff keeps going forward and studying these things and the board doesn't take any action to correct it, those legal fees are going to continue, and they're just so unnecessary. If there are projects that we can't do, we shouldn't be studying them. So I'm sorry again, I voted for the budget for this board in years past, but I believe in the last 2 have not been able to because of the actions and segmenting of projects, trying to get something in South County. So again, this year, I will be doing that, and I'm really sorry to do it, but it has to be done. And I just believe this board is delegating their authority to staff, and it's very sad because when I go to other boards and I'm in my city, I don't see that. So
Thank you.
I would ask for people to show that they do not have support by voting no on the budget.
Thank you, Director Ward. Any other comments? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second, so I now ask for approval of number 12, the Foothill Eastern Transportation Corridor Annual 2019 Budget. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you very much. And it's